An ABC 3340 exclusive. We go behind the steel walls with unprecedented access inside the U.S. Navy.
It is a rare invitation that would have me landing on an aircraft carrier in the Atlantic. These are the real patriots protecting our families, and tonight it's our first night in a series starting with a young woman from St. Clair County with a job like no other. This is Alabama the Brave. Few civilians get the invitation. Even fewer cameras are allowed to show you this. But ABC 3340 was granted unprecedented access with the U.S. Navy.
Let's go!
From land to the Atlantic, these are the men and women who always have an eye on our security. To meet these patriotic protectors, I agreed to always be in uniform and to train. Survival swim training with the best in the world, medical clearance, and rescue and recovery tactics. More on those later, but the end result would clear my landing on this. The USS Abraham Lincoln, one of 11 aircraft carriers in service. I don a full flight suit with emergency devices we've agreed not to show, helmet, goggles, and board our plane. There's only 2 windows, no talking, and no clue of our exact location. Eventually, we're told to brace as we make what's called an arrested landing. As we show you around, you'll meet several Alabamians.
Haley Matthews from Asheville, Alabama.
This St. Clair County hero has a big smile and a serious job.
So I'm responsible for making sure that our ship is safe from missile threats by conducting anti-ship missile defense.
We can't show you her workspace or where it's located for obvious reasons.
A lot of computers, a lot of blue lights, a lot of people in and out all the time. It's a very busy space.
Much of her missile defense job is secret. It's a 6-hour shift with constant communication.
He's called the Tactical Action Officer. That's who I'm communicating with on a daily basis.
There's always a chain of command.
There's always a chain of command.
We are hundreds of miles off the U.S. coast, and I can tell you the ship does sway, but not too bad. And the sound of the planes actually calm this Alabama.
I kind of go to sleep at night to the rhythm of, aircraft launching and landing, and I don't even notice it anymore. It can be a little intense sometimes, but most of the time it's a pretty good place to be. Every day I work on basically a tiny city floating around in the middle of the ocean with 3,000 other people, so it's insane to me every day.
She and the others train every day, from emergency situations like fires,
Relieve the nozzle man. Relieve the nozzle man on.
to attacks and casualties.
Male with a right leg compound fracture.
They're ready for everything, but they also find time to relax. For them, that includes working out, maybe even a jog when approved on the flight deck.
Everybody makes it sound like the 5K is fun. Is that
It
just
c-
your
it
superior's
can-
way of getting you to exercise?
No, it
To say a
can
fun
be.
5K?
It can be because, I don't really know a lot of people who can say I ran 3 miles, floating out in the middle of the ocean.
Okay, now that's a great point.
While the ship has pretty much everything you can imagine, Haley Matthews reminds me it's not Alabama.
Just the people. People are very friendly, and I also miss sweet tea all the time.
Yeah?
Yes.
The views are amazing, the sights are inspiring, and the coordinated movements that happen on the Lincoln, downright impressive. Starting with Alabamians like Matthews. This is exactly what makes Alabama so wonderful, protecting our families, protecting the United States.
Yes.
You do realize we're all very appreciative of you, right?
I do, thank you. And I appreciate your appreciation.
It's a unique look at where cameras are rarely allowed.
Tonight, a news story. And this one you may consider explosive. The man you're about to meet has a very dangerous and extremely important job. It's inside the Navy and Alabama the Brave. Flying for freedom, protecting our families. We're taking you inside where cameras rarely go, meeting Alabama heroes along the way. It's a special invitation that included training, like survival swimming, to be approved for landing on an active aircraft carrier positioned in the middle of the Atlantic. Taking us out to the USS Lincoln. We board a C-2 Greyhound, known as a COD. No talking and no idea exactly where the USS Lincoln is located. We fly hundreds of miles and touch down, landing on the carrier. One of the most impressive machines, of course, these guys, the fighter jets. And the reason they are here is because they were here first, where crews make sure they are always ready for anything.
My name is David Oates. I am from Montgomery, Alabama.
David is one of those guys the military would have problems without.
The safe uploading and downloading of many bombs and missiles, explosive cartridges, mainly the things that go boom.
Yeah, things that go boom. His critical role? Arming the jets.
Knowing we're doing something for the world, like actually protecting our country, actually hands-on with our ordnance, knowing it's going somewhere and being dropped by our pilots. Yes, it feels great.
These men and women deal with all types of firepower and more.
Oh man, I'm talking about extreme caution because these are real life explosives.
I was concerned about distracting them. Clearly, it wasn't a problem.
What are these guys doing right here behind you? What is that? David?
So right now that's a fuel tank, also known as a drop tank. This gives it its extra fuel for it to have extra room, depending on that, got to go cross-country flights, depending on longer missions.
To be clear, there are parts of the plane and missiles we agreed not to show due to national security. The Super Hornet is one of the more popular planes used by the Navy. It is fast, it is versatile, and can carry a lot of weaponry, which is one main reason they don't like the plane sitting in the hangar very long. And when they leave here and land here, part of the mission is accomplished. And if the explosives are used, listen to this.
So when you see those bombs come off that plane, you know exactly what kind
I
of
already
bomb
know. I already know what time it is. I already know how many seconds they got before it detonates.
Wow.
I already know what type of impact it's going to make, either low collateral or just a general purpose.
He knows the work they do is dangerous, and he says he does it all for us, especially his family.
I have one older sister. Yeah, she attended University of Alabama, so in Tuscaloosa. So
That's a problem, though, for you.
yeah, because I'm a War Eagle fan, Auburn Tigers all day.
With ties to Alabama and Auburn, he says he's a proud Alabamian.
Everybody's proud of you. You know
I
that,
appreciate
right?
it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the pride that flies out each day, landing here on the ready, armed by an Alabamian. Tonight, we're going behind the scenes. This is Alabama the Brave.
These are real life explosives, you know.
It can be a little intense sometimes.
It's a city that never sleeps. After a bit of training, ABC 3340 was granted access to land on the USS Lincoln. Hundreds of miles off the coast, the aircraft carrier is nearly 1,100 feet long, 200 feet tall. One anchor weighs the equivalent of 11 Suburbans, not including the chain. But it's the people that keep it moving, protecting us.
Anthony Lewis, I'm from Casada, Alabama.
Kevin Spakes in Fort Deposit, Alabama.
Alabamians playing critical roles. As aircraft land, Anthony is below the flight deck.
We mainly handle a lot of the aircraft that come down for maintenance and different type of procedures that goes on.
Anthony controls this massive space. It's this area where aircraft are chained down. Obviously, the ship can sway and most often worked on or prepped, and maneuvering them is no simple task. That's where Anthony's expertise takes over. But his job is twofold. Here, they also train for the worst. In fact, it takes extensive training to protect each other and the ship.
We also specialize in fighting fires. If a fuel station fire, something breaks out, we need to be there to be the first responders to the fire.
As for the aircraft, from moving, adjusting, parking, locking down, it all takes precision guidance.
I love my job. I love everything about it. So I'm always happy. They call me Happy Lewis here.
Depending what's happening and landing, this area could be full.
It's not just the fighters that come in for landing after those touch and goes and landings. This is a cod that can transport goods and people to the boat, and here it comes in right now for a landing.
Soon it will be filled with many aircraft. It's just like a puzzle, and you just have to put it in the hangar bay and piece it together.
Above Anthony, there's Kevin. His crew wears the green vests.
I work on the catapults. We have 4. The catapults are the releasing. They build up steam. It's 2 big metal pistons that sit below the flight deck.
Without these catapults, they couldn't take off very well, could they?
No, sir.
Exactly, so they need people like you, don't they?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Kevin gets closer than anyone to the jets as they leave the ship.
This is the F-18 Hornet, and we deal with these a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of used to it.
You having fun?
Yes, sir. It's a nice atmosphere. Everyone's willing to help each other.
Oh, I'm like a little kid up here.
I take it for granted every day, pretty much. I try not to.
Both men smile a lot. Both are proud of what they do, and both men miss Alabama. But they know their jobs are critical.
It allows my family to sleep at night and everybody else's family to sleep at night.
A destination, I don't know where we're going, but Just
You don't
doing
know
a
where you're
mission.
going.
No.
They may not know where they're going, but they know what they're doing and where they're from. Proud Alabamians protecting us.